Okay, yes.
Yeah, Dinesh,
We'll
you
start
can
now.
go ahead and
So
start.
let
Yeah,
me share
correct.
my screen. In the last sessions, what we have discussed basic about. So what is database, and then what is so data warehousing, and so what is the main importance of data warehousing, so why we required, and then what are the characteristics of data warehouse. So we discussed all these things, and at the same time, so we discussed about the table, like types, dimension table, and then factor table. Now, so let's coming to today's, so we'll so continue with the warehousing concept. So we have dimension table and factor tables, right? It's a descriptive data. Dimension table means when it is coming to the fact table, so it's a key performance indicators. Mostly it will be in the form of numbers or numeric values. Now, so what is the relation between these so two types of tables? How the data will be loaded? Which tables we will load the data first? Next, which tables we are going to load? Suppose this loading will happen from so any of the ETL tool. We will come to that. So once we discuss this. Now, for example, we have star schema, star schema, and so mainly snowflake schema. This is schemas. Okay. The snowflake and star schema means how the data we are storing so inside the data warehousing. So what is the relation? Based on that, we will call it as a star, and then we will call it as a snowflake schema. So we have some hybrid schema also, and then we have like multi dimensions schema. But so mostly we will use any project star schema or snowflake schema. Now coming to what exactly star schema, how it looks like. Now what is the relation between dimension and factor table? So here, so relation between fact and dimension will be one to many. It means one fact table, many dimension tables will be there. One fact table, many dimension tables will be there. So when you want to visualize the data, or when you are storing the data, so from many dimensions, we are going to load the data to fact table. So we will so keep the important data into that. So let me show you something here with example. Now observe this example. If you observe, so what we have sales. The middle one is a sales fact table. This is sales fact table. Now coming to the surrounded by all these are dimension tables. If you observe, we have a time dimension, right? So we have order ID, date, year, quarter, month. These are related to time, right? And then customer dimension related to customer data. So here customer ID, customer name, customer address, city, zip, right? The each and every dimension, so it will contain the group of descriptive data related to that particular dimension. This is a customer, this is a time. Same way, this is a product dimension. If you observe product dimension table, all it will be whatever we are discussing. So here the types, it will be in the form of tables only. But how the data is stored, based on that, we are going to call with a different names. Okay, don't get confused here. Now see this. This is a product dimension. What you have in this table: product ID, product name, product category, and then unit price. So all this information. Coming to employee dimension, sales employees, right? Employee ID, employee name, and then their title, department, region, right? So these are the information related to the employee dimension. When you observe, all these are the dimension tables. Now how they will analyze from these dimension tables? When you so forget about so these like three things and then four, only consider the product dimension. So 1 minute, when you consider only product dimension, what you can able to see from here, only related to product. That's it. Only related to product. It means, so for this product ID, so what is the unit price for that particular product category? If you want to see, you can able to view the information. So and when it is coming to the customer ID, customer dimension, only for that customer ID. So what is the customer name and then address, city, we can able to understand based on customer relation table. That's it. And then employee related details only we can able to see in this particular individually. When you consider only that particular related information only we can able to see. Now, so let's say for example, observe this. For one particular product ID, let's take 101 product ID for example. For one product ID, for this employee ID and employee, so name or whatever it may be, for this customer, how much sales happened during this month. Any specific customer, if you take this customer, so for this particular product and this particular month, how much sales has happened, so based on, so sales department, so say any employee, so when, so you go to any like store, there will be a salesperson, right? So when they are giving a billing to us, so in the bill, if you observe, the salesperson ID will be there, or like item, so they will so give you the, so bill generation, so there some IDs will be there for their recognition purpose, so they will understand from that, so who is the salesperson, so sold out this particular product, right? There's that particular information, so here is a, so related to this particular dimension. When you observe this, when you combine this information, then only you can able to analyze something, right? If you observe each and every dimension, now see this in the fact table, what you are maintaining in the fact table, from the product dimension we have a product ID, from order dimension we have a order ID, customer dimension we have customer ID, employee ID dimension employee ID, and then at the same time we have total amount, quantity, and then what is the discount, right? When you observe, now forget about all the four dimensions surrounded by, now only consider the sales dimension. When you observe only the sales dimension, if you observe, we have a product ID for this particular product in this particular order, who is the customer, and then who is the employee ID, and then who is the sales, and then what is the total amount, so they have so purchased, and then how much quantity, and then what is the discount, so they got. So all this information is available in only one table, right? All these are the numeric information. If you observe, these are the numeric information. All this, based on this, you can able to understand what is happening surrounded by this particular dimension. We can able to so come to one conclusion, right? So this, when you are having the data, the relation in between these tables, so one fact table, fact table is this, sales is a fact table here, surrounded by dimension tables. It looks like a star. It looks like a star. Then we will call it as a star schema. Then we are going to call it as a star schema. Okay. Now, how the data will be loaded into the table? First, data will be loaded into dimension tables first. From the dimension tables, they will load it into fact tables. When they are maintaining a data warehouse first, so it will be in the it's a data warehousing means nothing but it's a combination of tables, right? So they will load it into dimension tables first, then they will load it into the fact tables. So this is a process. Now in between this, so we have a star schema, so with the relation, so how the relation will be there, so and then what, so how they will so Logically they will structure the things. This is just a minute, this is snowflake, this is a star schema. Now so we have another schema. It's a snowflake schema. Snowflake schema. Okay, our snowflake is different, and then snowflake is schema is different. Okay, don't relate it to, so both the things too. So one. So now coming to snowflake schema is, now if you observe, same in the fact, so table and then dimension tables relation. If one dimension splitted into more dimensions, now observe this one. One dimension again splitted into more dimension, then we will call it as a snowflake schema. Now let's observe. So we have a product dimension table, order dimension table, customer dimension, and then date dimension. This is a time dimension. When you see this time dimension, again it's splitted into multiple dimension tables. See this week dimension, month, and then quarter. So again they splitted, so to handle it easily. So to understand only the month related information they want, they can come to the month dimension. Only they want the weekly related information, they will come to this dimension. So and at the same time, so quarter dimension, right? All this time dimension splitted into three more dimension. So when the dimension is splitted into one or more dimension in your star schema, then we will call this as a snowflake schema. So if you leave this three dimension and then if you consider only four and then this fact table, then that will be a star schema. If this dimension again we are splitting, then we will call it as a star schema. So that's it. Okay. So these are the, so types of dimension, how they are going to load the data into our the data warehousing. So now, so another interesting thing here. So we have, so when we are maintaining the data in dimension tables, the mainly, so most of the time, what is the purpose of the like a data storing? For decision making or to analyze, right? Here we have mainly SCD, we will call it as a slowly changing dimensions, slowly changing dimensions. Now, so what is the main intention behind this? To maintain history. That's why they will use slowly changing dimensions. Now, so how they are going to store these slowly changing dimensions? So let's say we have three types here. SCD1, mainly we will use three types. SCD2 when you are going to maintain, and then SCD3, slowly changing dimension 1, slowly changing dimension 2, and then slowly changing dimension 3. So these are the three types of dimensions. Now coming to, okay, I will give you an example. So then we will discuss what is the purpose of slowly changing dimensions. Let me open. So now let's observe. We have these details, employee ID, and so we can have a employee name, and every year, so employee salary will be there. And then at the same time, employee designation will be there. And then let's say year. Okay. Now we have these details. Let me take one record for this. Some three records. 101. Employee name ABC. And then employee salary 1000. Employee designation, for example, developer. Now here, let's take, so 2015. Okay, let's assume that. So employees joined in the organization. When he joined, so his employee ID is 101, employee salary is this one. So and then his designation is developer. Okay, and then so this is year is 2015. Same way, we have another employee 102, and then BCD 2000, and then so developer is, so he is again associate. Just assume that. So he's also joined in 2015. Now consider these two records for example. This is in the year of 2015, right? Now, when we are storing the data related to this particular employee information in this particular table, let's assume this is a employee table. Next year, what will happen is this particular thing. Now observe this 2016. What they will update, the year is updated, and so the same designation will be same, and then here salary is 1500, here the salary is 2500, the same employee, and then remaining details are same. This is for 2016. And again the next year, let's observe next year what is happening is in 2017. So here, so let's assume that instead of developer, senior senior developer. Okay, senior developer, the same 2017. Now 2017, the same employee, salary is again 500 to 3000, and then his designation didn't change, he is still associate. Okay, next year what is happening, just observe next year. So our same year has been changed, year has been changed, and then there is no change. There is no change in the designation. There is no change in the salary also. Okay. Now our intention is when you observe this data, final table, what is the data we will have? This is the data we will have in this table, right? When you want to see from the starting to till date, when the employee joined, so when he joined in 2015, 15 to 18 or till date, if you want to see, so how the data has been changed, how the salaries has been changed. So when he joined in the organization, what is his designation? If you want to see that, can you able to see that information here? When you are keep on updating the data in the specific table, we cannot able to see this information here, right? This is the final data what you can see, this 101, so ID, this is the salary, and then this is the senior developer designation, and then in the year of 2018. But we don't have any historical information. When we don't have this historical information, can we able to analyze? No, we cannot able to see what happened before, right? So to for this, what we are going to do is we are going to maintain whenever the data is changing in the source table, we are going to maintain this history. That is nothing but slowly changing dimensions. Whenever the data is changing, we are capturing that change also for analysis purpose. So we nothing but we are maintaining history of that particular record. What will happen is if you take, this is the first year, right? Let's assume that this is the first year data, and second year when it is coming to that, so the data how it looks like is, so first year data will be there. Let's observe this, and second year data also it will be there. Just a minute, I didn't copy it properly. Copy. Now observe this one, right? So what we can able to see here? So we have a year, right? So based on year, we can able to understand. So this employee joined first in 2015. At the time, his designation is developer. When it is coming to 2016, his designation is again developer, but salary has been increased. When it is coming to, so 2015 for this 102 employee, so his designation is associate. So here also associate, his designation has been changed. What we are doing, we are maintaining history, right? Again, so when you come to the next year, what will happen? Again, this previous data we will maintain, our previous data we are going to maintain like this. See this one. Now what you have here, based on year, we can able to understand so how the data looks like, right? How the data is changing. It means this particular person, so in 2015, so if you consider only 101 employee, his 2015 his designation is developer. In 2016 his resignation again developer, their salary is same. In 2017, and then his designation is senior developer, salary designation has been changed, but the salary didn't changed. So we can able to understand this. When it is coming to next year, what is happening here? So again, the same data is available, but here, then observe this complete information. Now if you observe the data here, what we can able to see, we can see the complete information in this particular table. So we can able to understand, so what is the employee ID, and then based on the year, what you are maintaining here, to understand history. Now just observe, forget about this particular year column. Now what happened now? Now observe, can you able to understand? So same employee ID we have, so we have a developer and then 1500. Again the same employee ID. So developer, if you take only 101, if you observe, so see this 101 here, 101 here, again 101, again 101. Can you able to understand here which one is the first and then which one is the next? We cannot, right? So that's why we are going to maintain any specific columns. If you observe, if you have this year, then if you have this year, then we can able to understand clearly, so which year, so what is the data, right? So like this is, we are going to maintain history. In history also, we have three types. So when we are maintaining history, based on the business requirement, we are going to maintain, so three types. This is here, what we are doing, we are maintaining the complete information from the year starting to year end, right? Year starting to, so till date, so when they joined in the organization to till now, so we are maintaining the complete information. Here we have complete history, right? So this is, so SCD2, slowly changing dimension 2. Here slowly changing dimension 2, we are going to maintain complete history information. When we are maintaining complete history information, so based on our requirement, so we can use version number, or we will use a flag, or we will use a date range, or we will use date range. These are the different, so mechanism they will use to understand the history. It means here, so for the better understanding, what we have done, we are using a date here. Date means nothing but a year, right? We are using year instead of year. Now let's observe this, how the version looks like is, let's say for example Instead of this, if I will keep a version here, then so what is the so main intention of date range, we will see that version, initial version, this is, let's assume 1 okay. And then so next version will be, these are 2 2, then these are 3 3, and then 4 4. These are the version numbers. Initially the version number is 1, so now forget about this particular column. Okay, we are not maintaining this, and then we are maintaining only version number. When you are maintaining the version number, so instead of this dates, year, now observe this, what you can able to see, we can see this information, employee ID, name, salary, designation, and then versions we can able to see. And then based on the version number, you can able to understand here which one is the first, which one is the next, which one is the latest one, right? This is a another way how we are going to see the information. We can maintain a version to see, so what is the so particular version. But the problem with is, if you want to know the latest version, previous version, we can able to understand here by using the version number. But from which date to which date, the duration, for example, employee ID 101, we can able to see that version, in version 1000 is the salary, and then in version 2 1500 is the salary. But so how many days he received this salary? Can you able to see the details here? No, right? So that's why they are going to use the version number. So sorry, they will, when they use version number, we can see only the present, and then next, and then next. So we can able to see which is first, which is next, and then which is the latest. But the duration we cannot able to understand, right? So that is a problem with a version number. But if you observe here, see this 2015 to 2016, 1 year duration, he received this particular salary. In the next year 2016 to 2017, he received this salary. So later, so he changed, so he got a, so next, so salary, see this one, same salary. And then so during this year, so his designation is this one, right? So this is a advantage of the date here. So anyone, so they don't want to bother about the duration, just they want the version numbers, they will use like this. Another thing what we discussed, we have a type of flag range. That is a flag. It means instead of this, you will have a flag. Flag means, so let's say true or false, or zeros or ones, whatever it may be. For example, if I take it here, the previous version, or I will use, so first, so initial version, current version C. Let's assume that current version C, and then old version, I will give old. Okay, C and O's, these are the flags. Or sometimes true or false will be there. Sometimes like they will maintain, so current and then previous, current and previous, C and P's, it depends on the so organization. So let's say current and previous. Okay, so this is the current version for the both, so when they are maintaining. Now when it is coming to, this is in, so initial year, when it is coming to next, this is the one, right? Then these two will come as a current version, these will go as a previous versions. These are the flags. Again next year, again these two will go to previous, and then these will come to current. Now observe this one, these are come to current. Again next what will happen, these two will come to the previous, these two will come to current, and then current version. Now observe this one, based on the flag, what you can see here, only you can able to see which one is the latest version, but all are the previous versions, right? All remaining are previous version. But here we can see only the latest version here, but we cannot able to see the So previous versions we can able to understand, but we don't know the order, right? We will not know the order. If you want to know only the current versions, then we can use this kind of logic. This is a kind of flag. This is a version number. This is the date range. Which one is the best one here? Always. So based on the requirement, we will use. If you want the complete history, definitely they are going to maintain a date. So when you have a date range, so sometimes they will use year, sometimes they will use the duration. The complete date will be there, like start date, end date. These kind of things will be there when they are maintaining data in their tables. Whenever the data is changing, what we are doing every year, so instead of updating the table, we are keeping the old record same, and then we are inserting the new records. We are keeping the old records, we are inserting the new records, right? Whenever you have update also, right? So we are so inserting the new records. This is the mechanism of slowly changing dimensions, how we are going to store the data. So this is so little important case, that's why so we are discussing the main like functionality of like slowly changing dimension. So mainly for analysis purpose, so very frequently we will see the data. Same example we can take for anything, like this is I have taken for employee, right? So same way, for example, if you if you take any customer for any particular product, if you want to see how many products he has purchased for the same customer ID, if they want to maintain, or same customer ID in a bank, how many loans he has taken, and then which years, and then these are all the things. If they want the complete history, they can follow these things. Now what we discussed, slowly changing dimension 2, slowly changing dimension 2. Now coming to slowly changing dimension 1, what it mean by that? So here also they are maintaining history, but they don't want the complete history. They want immediate and the current. They want immediate and current data. That's it. They don't want they don't want to maintain the complete history, immediate and current, when you are going to use this. Okay, let's see that. And at the same time, when it is coming to HCD3, they need immediate information. It means, sorry, this is, we can say that current, and instead of this, we can say immediate or current and previous, immediate previous information. Okay, or next previous information. This one only it will maintain current information. So then, so we are going to call it as a, so this particular, so slowly changing dimension 3. Now coming to when you will use current and previous. So let's say for example, uh, when any like data when you are maintaining, we need to know, so what is the current and then what is the so previous immediate one. It means, so you will get always these two things, these two things. Remaining things we will not get it. So when, so which situations we will use this? Suppose let's assume that, so any, suppose you booked a you are trying to renewal your passport. Okay, so what they will ask? They will ask your current address, right, to deliver the passport. And at the same time, they will ask if you have, like, let's say for example, if in this, during this particular duration, like in 1 month or 2 months, so if you are planning to change your address, then mention that address also, right? Or they will mention, so current communication address or two addresses, so communication address, so permanent address, right? So they will maintain that one. So why they need, so if it is not delivered there, then they will deliver it to the so current, so permanent address. In the communication address it will not be the permanent address, right? Immediate previous thing, so whenever they want to analyze with the immediate thing, so then they will go for this. So let's say for example, same if you take employees, so table, so let's say we have another column, Okay, so we have year, and then we have another column of, for example, rating. Okay, how that, what is the employee rating? Employees rating is, let's assume that 5 here, and then let's assume that 4 here. Okay, so when they are maintaining the ratings, so here it will come like this. In the final table, you will have, like for example, another year it will be 3, another year it will be 3, so another year, so it will be 2, another, this particular person, again 5, this particular person, so again 5, let's assume that 4. Now observe this, when they are giving the hike to the employees, what they will check, they will check previous person how much, so what is the rating previous year, how he has performed. Based on that they will compare, and then they will give the current hike, current salary, or you can so relate this with a, so hike, how much hike they have given, or based on always, based on the previous year they have given very good hike, this year obviously it will be so reduced, right? So generally, so they have to, so maintain, so each and every person in a team, right, they have to so manage. So that's why, so always they will check how much we have given the previous immediate, so previous year, so they didn't given the good rate, good the hike to that particular person, they have to average, right? So any manager they will check, so what is the immediate previous hike they have given to the so employee. In that particular situation, they don't want to maintain the complete information, they required immediate previous, it means the next, so previous year information and then current year, that's it. They want to maintain immediate previous and then current year. This is SCD1. SCD1, slowly changing dimension 1. When it is coming to, let's assume, or if you take current address, or so if you want to check the current designation, so only the current address or current designation, whatever it may be, they need only the current address or communication address only. For example, so they are sending a gifts to all the employees, what they required, they required only your communication address, right? They don't want in 2015 where you have stayed, in 2016 where is your, where you have stayed, and then 17 where you have stayed, and then 18, so where you are staying. This is required. This is required. The current communication address required, but they don't want the complete information about the previous address, right? In this particular situation, if they want to send the gifts, they need only the current communication address, they won't bother about the previous addresses. In this particular situation, so they will maintain the current address only, so they will not bother about so where you have stayed. Let's say for example, so any delivery apps, so when you are like updating your current communication address, so they will not have your previous address, they won't maintain, so they don't require. Basically, when they are delivering, they will deliver so any product to your communication address only. In these situations, what you will do, so we are going to maintain SCD3. So based on our requirement, our project requirement, our organization requirement, we are going to maintain the changes in the form of this, any one of the form. It can be SCD1, SCD2, SCD3. If you want to maintain complete history, definitely it will be slowly changing dimension 2 with any one of the flags. It can be a version, flag, or date range. But again, if you maintain date range only, you will have a complete, so clarity information will be available. So most of the time in SCD2, they will use date range only. So these are the, so dimensions, and so how we are going to maintain. Now let's come to, okay, our, so snowflake. So what the snowflake, okay, what exactly the snowflake is. Now, so when you are coming to snowflake, so what we are going to tell, snowflake is cloud data warehouse solution, and it's provided by software as a service, SaaS, software as a service. Now, so we understand, so what is the data warehousing, so what are the terminologies it will be in the data warehousing. Now coming to so cloud. So what exactly the cloud is? So why we are going to call Snowflake is a cloud data warehousing solution. Let me open something. Just a minute. Okay. So now, so if you observe, just try to understand the terminology. We will be going to so discuss each and every terminology here. So what they are doing. So Snowflake is a cloud data warehousing solution provided by software as a service, right? What it mean by that? First, we need to understand these terminologies. Then it will be very easy to understand what exactly the Snowflake is, why you are coming to Snowflake. We will discuss each and every point. Now just say for example, okay, so we know what is data warehousing. What is the purpose of the main purpose of the data warehousing is to for analysis purpose. Without the data warehousing we cannot able to analyze, it is not possible. Okay, so coming to here the Snowflake, so what they are telling, so the terminology they are using as a cloud, we will discuss that. So what is the difference between traditional and cloud? So we have traditional thing, or we will call it as a on premises. On we used to call it as a on premises. I'll tell you what it mean by that. On premises and then cloud. Coming to the cloud, these are the two terminologies we are having nowadays. Every organization, every technology, they are moving to the cloud instead of traditional thing, instead of traditional thing. So for example, okay, let's come like this. Okay, if you have some data, your personal data, where you are going to store in your system, in your laptops, right? Generally we are going to store it in our laptops. So your pics or your personal data, whatever it may be, we will store it in your source system and then hard disk. Now, so nowadays what is happening, so if the data is more, so we cannot able to the every time, so we cannot able to increase the hard disk capacity, right? Suppose you have a 2 TB of the so data hard disk capacity, again you cannot increase, or so you want to whenever it is required, so you have to keep on increase at the same time, so you have to maintain it properly. Then what you have nowadays, the cloud storage is available. Microsoft is have cloud storage, and then so Google is having so cloud storage, right? So that is, so they don't, so we don't require so any so hard disk capacity to increase. Directly we can store it in a cloud. Okay. Uh, Come to the another example for to easily understand. I will tell you this. So traditional, okay, when we are trying to, okay, come to this. If you have a requirement of purchasing a car, okay, let's come to the traditional thing. When you want to purchase a car, so what all the physically we are purchasing a car, right? So you are going to decide your brand, right? And then at the same time you are going to decide so capacity of that particular car, and then at the same time, so you are going to so ready for so paying EMI, and service you need to take care of service, and then you need to take care of parking place, and then at the same time, so you have to take care of maintenance, right? And then at the same time, so you have to take care of insurance, right? If it is required, so maybe driver. right? Suppose when you are purchasing a car for your requirement, so you want to so travel with family or whatever it may be. So when you are purchasing, you have to decide so seating capacity and then brand. After that, regular EMI you need to take care, and then regular services, parking place, maintenance, and then insurance, and then every year insurance renewal, and then driver. These are the things you have to take care when you are purchasing your car. Now, suppose you have purchased your car. So now once you purchase your car, whether you are going to use it or not, you have to take care of all the above things, right? Definitely you have to take care of all the above things. You need to pay the EMI, you need to so take care of maintenance, every like renew insurance renewal, and then services, you need to pay the salary for the so driver, and all these things we have to take care. And at the same time, it doesn't matter you are using or not, right? Okay, now come to this one. So when you are purchasing, if you want to down the line based on your requirement, if you want to increase the seating capacity, if you want to increase, again what you have to do, so you have to sold out your old car and then you have to purchase your new one, right? That is a different story. Now, main importantly, everyone cannot able to afford to purchase the own cars, right? Then what they can do, so what is the option in front of them? So they have Uber, right? They have the services of Uber or other car services, right? What they are doing here, they are having a software, right? We are going to install that software in our mobiles, and we are going to pay only for what you are going to use, right? The above thing everyone cannot able to offer, right? This is, you can consider, traditional solution. This is traditional one. Now, so let's consider this example of cloud. Okay, do you are you going to so take care of EMI, services, parking place? It's not your headache. Maintenance, insurance, driver, it is. So above all the things, it is not going to, so you are not going to worry about any of the things above. What you are going to do, simply you are going to install a application, and then you are going to book the service, and then once the service is closed, you are going to pay what you are using. At the same time, you no need to bother about the so budget, so whatever the budget you need to purchase our own car. The same time, it's not your responsibility of the driver, insurance, maintenance, parking place, and then EMIs, and then so services, all these things. Who is the responsible for that? The service provider who is providing the service to us, they are responsible for that. That particular thing, we will call it as a software as a service. Software as a service. They are providing a software with the complete solution to us. So they are providing service to us. Okay. Now coming to this, so this one you can consider what is the advantage here. So here the advantage is every person can able to use, right? Whenever based on the requirement. So for example, if they want to go to family alone, they can book, sorry, if they want to go to office alone, they can so so compact car, right? If they want to go for vacation with family, can book a luxury car. It depends on the requirement, so you can change. And the best part is, so we are going to pay for what you are using, and then remaining things you are not going to worry about that, right? The same example here, you can consider this as a cloud when you are utilizing this, and then this one as a traditional thing, purchasing your own car. Now coming to our the snowflake. So why we are relating to this? Let's assume that if you want to purchase, it can be Oracle license. So where you are going to store the data in the databases. So everyone will familiar with Oracle or so Teradata, whatever it may. All these are the databases, right? If you want to purchase any database, traditional thing, what you required, so you need to pay the license, cost, right? You need to pay the licenses. Once you purchase the licenses, again you need to install. Suppose in your system, if you want to download any like a database, and then if you want to install, so you are going to, so maybe if it is a free, then it is no need to worry. You can download and then you can install. If it is purchase one, so free trial it is not there, then you need to pay and then you have to download. Once it is downloaded, before installing, you need to check the configuration of your system, right? It is not suitable for everything, right? So you will have to check what is your RAM, and then what is the database size it is going to occupy. All these things we have to check. And then after that, installation, configuration, the maintenance, everything is your headache. You need to take care of, right? But so when you are utilizing the cloud, like we have Snowflake. Snowflake is the example for the cloud. We have other solution also example for cloud providers, like in AWS Redshift is there, in Azure also. So Azure they are providing so solution, and then GCP also they are having solution. But on top of this, so why exactly we are going for the Snowflake, we will discuss that. So now coming to this, if you observe, so traditional thing, when you are purchasing, you need to worry about the installation. For example, when you purchase your own car, so you need to take care of the parking place, right? The same way, when you are purchasing any license of Oracle or Teradata, you need a server rooms to maintain this, right? At the same time, when you are installing these things, you need a administrators, right? Configuration administrator. Same way, like when you purchase a car, you need a driver, right? The same way you can relate it to the administrator. And at the same time, whenever the new version releases, we need to so again reconfigure it, right? So patches and the new versions, so that is nothing but a maintenance, right? And the same time, so whenever you have, so every year the license has to be renewal, right? That is nothing but, let's assume that every year insurance and then every year services, right? All these things, when it is a so traditional thing, so all the above things are the your responsibility, right? But when it is coming to the cloud, Snowflake, so it is not in your on premises. It means you are not going to so do anything in your lab systems. It's completely a cloud. So how we logged in, so with our Snowflake account in the last session, let me show you. So in the next session, I will show you how to create this account, how to install Snowflake. Let's come to this. If you observe, this is the link. See this one? So it's completely URL based, like your Gmail account or Yahoo account, whatever it may be. So when you have internet, when you have a system to access, you can access it from anywhere, right? Just what you are going to do, just you are going to create your Gmail account or Yahoo account. That's it. After that, you are ready to utilize, right? The same way here in Snowflake also, it's a with a just with a link we are accessing, just with a link we are accessing. And let's observe this. I am so login into our Snowflake account. When we log in into our Snowflake account, if you observe, everything has been configured default. So here, so you as a user, so no need to worry about anything. So here, if you observe, so all the options is already available, all they have given. And at the same time, if you observe it here, see this one, all these other roles all are pre-configured. As a Snowflake user, you are not going to worry about anything. It means it's a completely, it's ready to use. It's kind of plug and play. It's everything is readily available. Whatever you are going to use, based on that you are going to so pay for the Snowflake. That's it. But here, so in traditional things, when you come to any traditional things, Oracle or Teradata, any other database, you need to pay license, and then every year you need to so give the so renewal. So and so at the same time, when it is coming to this, so here the cloud, so it's not a traditional thing. based on the utilization you are going to pay. For example, so when you are paying to the Uber services, how we are going to pay? So let's say based on number of kilometers, and then at the same time the peak time, and then so which service you are utilizing, right? Which car you have taken. Same way here, based on your utilization, we are going to pay for the Snowflake. It's very minimal. Let me tell you something. For 1 hour utilization of Snowflake account, so there for the processing, they are going to charge around $1.3. $1.3, 1 hour utilization. This is for the processing. And at the same time, so for 1 terabyte of the storage for 1 month, they are going to charge around $23 per month. Now observe this, it's very minimal amount, right? So it is affordable by every startup companies to MNCs. When you compare this pricing, right? So the recent surveys, so what so they have concluded is that by recent surveys, who is utilizing the Snowflake as a cloud database or cloud data warehousing solution, they are telling that when compare with so they're like a traditional thing, almost 52% of the 50 to 60% of the money they are saving when compared to the traditional things. That's why nowadays every organization, so they are jumping into the Snowflake from traditional to Snowflake. This is the just a example. So meaning so things what so will this is what is the difference between on premises and then Snowflake. So all the things what we have discussed, right? So on premises means traditional thing. So this is coming to the Snowflake. So when you install like any license, so these things like require environment, licensing, database maintenance, software update, patches. So and then so it will when you want to install, it will be administrator is required. It will take some time. All these things, it's a headache for a in on premises. When it is coming to Snowflake, Snowflake is going to take care of all these things. We are not going to worry about anything. Okay, we will discuss more on the next session. So how these things will work in the back end, and then so how to like configure the Snowflake account, so Snowflake free trial account, all these things. So we're going to discuss in the next session. Okay, we will stop it here. Any questions here from anyone? So all these things, right, whatever we are discussing the data warehousing concepts, so it is so required, so just you need to understand so far so what we are doing exactly in the Snowflake. If you observe in Snowflake, everything will be stored in the form of tables only. You can see all these other tables, and then each and every table we have a data. So when you see the data, at least you can able to understand something. Okay, what is this kind of data? What type of data? So when you see the history, you can able to understand. Okay, so this is the history. So what is the purpose of the history? Why they are maintaining? That's why we are discussing all these terminologies. Okay. So any questions here from anyone? If I am fast, please let me know.
So this new technology has started using the MNCs already, or
It started, they have started using from so last 1 year, 1.5 year, I can say, Siri. They are migrating from traditional to the cloud now.
so it's competing with the big companies. So how
Correct. Exactly.
Snowflake is better than other companies?
In the next session, right, we will discuss that. I will show you here. So there is a comparison in between. See this one. So we have a comparison. Amazon Redshift, and then Azure, and then GCP, right? So why we need to go for Snowflake instead of these cloud providers, right? So they have so many inbuilt capabilities they have given in Snowflake. At the same time, the price wise comparison, it's very like reasonable price when compared to the others. So that is the main intention behind the Snowflake. And then all other additional features what they have given, they build their architecture so very user friendly. That is the main thing. And it will support all the file formats. In other thing, see this one, if you observe here, it will not support, it will support all the file formats, right? Other cloud providers will not support file format. At the same time, like see this one, JSON throughputs concurrency, it will not support the multi warehouse concurrency. When we are discussing, when we created a account, the Snowflake account, we will discuss each and every point here. I will show you with the examples, then you can understand very clearly how the multi cluster warehouse will work, how the scale up and scale down will work, what it mean by that scale up and scale down, what it mean by multi cluster concurrency, what it mean by the JSON format. So we will discuss all these things, then it will be very clear for you.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from anyone? I will send this recorded session in the group in another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so once it is ready, you please go through that one more time. If you have any other questions, so please note it down. So we'll discuss in the next session also. Okay. Okay, yes. Thank you. If you are not understanding any specific things, please let me know. I will try to so give you the better answer with the some examples. Okay. So I will make sure that everyone can able to understand the things. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
See
you,
you
Dinesh.
tomorrow. If you don't have any questions here.
Oh,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.